In the grand tapestry of Hindu mythology, the concept of Dashavatara, the 10 incarnations of Lord Vishnu, stands as one of the most fascinating mysteries ever written. From the cosmic fish Matsya, who saved humanity from the Great Flood, to the mighty warrior Parashurama wielding his axe, to Krishna and Rama, the divine avatars descend whenever the world teeters on the edge of chaos. But among these 10 great avatars lies one figure who is unlike all the others. Someone who does not wield a weapon, does not lead armies, and does not display godly power in the traditional sense. Instead, he came as a philosopher, a teacher, and a man who rejected rituals. Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha. Yes, in Hindu belief, Buddha is considered the 9th avatar of Vishnu. But this sparks a question that gives goosebumps. How could a man who denied the authority of the Vedas, who questioned rituals, and who emphasized meditation and compassion above all, be declared an incarnation of the very God who upholds Dharma? Why would Vishnu take birth as a figure who seemed to go against the traditions of Vedic religion itself? To understand this, we must dive deep into mythology, scriptures, and history, where forgotten details reveal an incredible truth. The earliest textual mention comes from the Puranas, ancient Hindu scriptures composed after the Vedic period. In the Bhagavata Purana, Vishnu Purana, and Garuda Purana, Buddha is described as one of Vishnu's 10 incarnations. But his role is not like Rama or Krishna, who came to destroy demons through war. Instead, Vishnu, as Buddha, came to fight a far subtler battle, a war of deception against those who had twisted religion into cruelty. One story tells us that in a time when asuras, powerful beings opposed to the gods, were gaining strength, they began performing elaborate Vedic sacrifices and rituals. These rituals, if performed correctly, gave them immense cosmic power, sometimes even greater than the gods themselves. Vishnu knew that if this continued, the balance of the universe would shatter. And so, he descended, not as a warrior with divine weapons, but as a teacher. Taking birth as Siddhartha Gautama, he spread a philosophy that condemned animal sacrifices, discouraged blind ritualism, and emphasized compassion for all beings. The asuras, believing his words, abandoned their bloody sacrifices. Stripped of the power that rituals gave them, they became weaker, and balance was restored. In this interpretation, Buddha's life becomes not a rejection of Dharma, but a divine strategy by Vishnu himself to protect the cosmos. But that is only one side of the story. There is also the historical dimension. Siddhartha Gautama was born in the 6th century BCE, a prince of the Shakya clan in Lumbini, near modern-day Nepal. After seeing the suffering of sickness, old age, and death, he abandoned his palace life to search for truth. After years of meditation and hardship, he attained enlightenment under the Bodhi tree, becoming the Buddha, the awakened one. The Bhagavata Purana, verse January 3, 24, describes this clearly. Then, in the beginning of Kali Yuga, the Lord will appear as Lord Buddha, the son of Anjana, in the province of Gaya, just to delude those who are envious of the faithful theist. This verse directly connects Buddha's birth to Vishnu's divine will. Interestingly, in some interpretations, Vishnu as Buddha comes to delude the wicked, drawing them away from the misuse of Vedic power. In others, he comes to teach compassion, reminding humanity of Ahimsa, the principle of non-violence. But here lies the most mysterious part. Why would Vishnu choose to take such a controversial form, one who denied Vedic authority? The deeper meaning reveals itself when we look at the cosmic cycle of yugas. In Kali Yuga, the present age of darkness, truth is clouded, violence spreads, and rituals lose their meaning. The Buddha's teachings of compassion, mindfulness, and detachment from material greed were not against Dharma, but actually the very essence of Dharma required for this age. Even ancient kings recognized this. The great emperor Ashoka the Great, who spread Buddhism across Asia after witnessing the horrors of war, inscribed pillars calling for non-violence and tolerance. His embrace of Buddha's path influenced millions and softened the cruelty of warfare in India. Was this not the hidden hand of Vishnu, guiding humanity toward peace through Buddha's teachings? However, the mystery deepens when we see how interpretations differ. Some Hindu traditions glorify Buddha as Vishnu's divine avatar. Others, especially certain Orthodox schools, portray him as a deceiver, meant to lead the wicked astray. This duality itself is fascinating. It suggests that Buddha's incarnation was not meant to be straightforward. He was both a teacher and a test, a savior and a challenger, depending on how humanity chose to understand him. Another curious fact: the Buddha's name is even mentioned in inscriptions and later texts alongside Rama and Krishna. In some South Indian temples, Buddha's image appears among the Dashavatara. In sculpted walls of ancient Vishnu temples, you will sometimes find a serene Buddha sitting alongside warrior gods. This shows that, at least for centuries, Hindus accepted him as an inseparable part of Vishnu's cosmic plan. So was the Buddha truly Vishnu in disguise? Or was this a way for Hinduism to integrate a rising new faith into its fold? The answer may be both. For his Buddhist followers, Buddha was unique, a man who transcended suffering by his own effort. But for Hindus, this uniqueness itself was divine, for who but Vishnu could take such an extraordinary form, to save humanity not through the sword, but through silence, meditation, and truth. This story challenges us to think beyond labels of Hindu or Buddhist. It reminds us that divinity can appear in unexpected ways. Sometimes the greatest battles are not fought with weapons, but with wisdom. And perhaps that is why Vishnu chose to walk the earth as the Buddha. Because in a world drowning in ritual and cruelty, only compassion could save it. In the end, whether you see Buddha as a wise man, an enlightened teacher, or the ninth avatar of Vishnu, one thing remains undeniable: his life changed the course of human history forever. His story, buried in scriptures and echoed in myths, shows us that the divine works in mysterious ways. Vishnu's incarnations are not just about gods and demons. They are about guiding humanity through the ages. And in the age of darkness, the greatest weapon Vishnu gave us was not the Sudarshana chakra, but the light of enlightenment itself.